Warriors of the Deep is the start of Doctor Who Season 21, but it feels like a holdover from Season 20, relying heavily on nostalgia for the past. The base under siege setting is straight out of the Second Doctor era, and the Silurians and Sea Devils are from the Third Doctor years, but it tries to put these old concepts together in an action-adventure in the style of Earthshock, and it never really works. It's the weakest start to a season we've had in quite some time. Let's start with the positives. The sea-based sets look great. The use of modular sets makes it feel like there's much more rooms and corridors than usual, and some of them even have multiple levels. The crew are a mix of races and genders for a change, instead of all being middle-aged white men. The women all wear a lot of makeup, but then so do the men, so it must be the fashion in 2084. The underwater model shots look good as well, and there's even a scene with the Doctor swimming underwater, which must have cost a fortune. On to the negatives. This could take some time. Firstly, the script is just full of obvious exposition. Maddox introduces himself by saying, "I'm a student on attachment to Seabase 4, to study an experienced sync operator in action, not take his place," which is some of the clunkiest dialogue you're ever likely to hear. Nielsen and Solau are the evil enemy agents plotting to sabotage the base, but we never learn exactly which side they're working for, and they both end up dead before they can really do anything. So that whole subplot feels like a waste of time. But never mind the humans, the reptile creatures are the big draw. Unfortunately, the Silurians look much worse than they did back in 1970. Their suits look really baggy, and their eyes just look completely wrong, and their voices are nearly incomprehensible. Their leader claims to be one of the original Silurians, but when he looks and sounds completely different to how they did, it's hard to see why they even bothered. The Sea Devils are referred to as Sea Devils throughout, even though that was just a nickname given to them by one of the humans, and are treated as just cannon fodder soldiers by the Silurians instead of being independent beings in their own right. Their armour does look better than the string vests they were wearing originally, but the helmets just obscure their distinctive faces. Neither Silurians nor Sea Devils even make it to the base until episode 3. Until then, the big threat is the Myrka, which is renowned as one of the worst Doctor Who monsters of all time, and for good reason. It's very obviously just two men in a pantomime horse that's been sprayed green at the last minute, with two bulbous frog eyes stuck on top, and it's not remotely scary, stumbling about the base like a pair of drunken sailors. The harsh lighting does not help, but then anything short of pitch blackness wouldn't have made any difference. The ending was also very underwhelming. The Doctor attempts to negotiate peace between humans and Silurians, but as always it never works. The reptiles are all gassed to death, and the Doctor stops the missile launch by concentrating really hard. There's no visual element to convey what's actually happening, so it all falls flat. Maybe a future special edition can add some scenes of missiles blowing up in midair, but until then it's just a massive anticlimax. And the show cuts out immediately after that, with only one human survivor left on the base. It would have been fun to see the Doctor make his excuses and just leave him there on a base full of corpses. Good luck explaining what happened, Burek. We're off. The DVD, as part of the Beneath the Surface box set, has about 50 minutes of extras. The Depths is a 32-minute making-of documentary. Johnny Byrne talks about the problems he had writing the script, when Ian Levine kept coming at him with all sorts of continuity errors needed fixing. Peter Davison and Janet Fielding are interviewed together, which is very entertaining, and Davison tells all about his underwater stunt, and a bunch of surviving cast members give their memories as well. They Came From Beneath the Sea is basically more of the same, with all of the same interviewees talking about the monster costumes, and the people inside the Myrka tell what that was like in some detail. Plus there's a short clip of Matt Irving talking about plastics on a BBC Schools show. Overall, a weak script and terrible monsters make it the worst story we've had in a long time. 2 out of 10. Next week, The Awakening. I don't think I've seen that story since it was first broadcast. I still remember the stone rock face monster thing, but I've no idea if it was any good or not. So that should be interesting. Press subscribe to see what I think of that one, and I'll see you next time.